So I've played Stalker Anomaly on and off pretty much since it first came out way back in 2018. And over the years, I've had a very love-hate relationship with it for a variety of reasons. One of which being the fact that Anomaly doesn't really have much that sets it apart from other mods like Call of Chernobyl or Road to the North in terms of levels. For those of you who are unfamiliar, perhaps because you've only played Anomaly or one of its popular offshoots like Gamma or Escape from Pripyat, there are some other really cool mods out there, most of which feature different maps that are, in my opinion at least, far superior to what we see in Anomaly or other COC-based mods. I recently did a video on one called Lost Alpha, which adds a boatload of new levels to explore, so check that out in the video description if you're interested. But back to Anomaly. So, Anomaly for the most part uses the same exact levels present in the vanilla games or other COC-based mods, and that's something that if you're like me and you've already played those games or mods, it can get really boring rather quickly. Now, for years there's been discussions around adding new maps to Anomaly, and for years it's been said that it's virtually impossible to add any new levels due to the way Anomaly works internally. And for a long time, it seemed like that wasn't going to change. Up until a few months ago, when we got our first glimpse of a massive Anomaly-based modding project called Anthology, which is something that is super cool, and I'll go more into detail in a minute, but one of the big things I noticed right off the bat with Anthology is the massive amount of new maps that this mod adds. So if you open up your PDA and look at the map, you can see that the zone is a lot bigger now, with what looks like almost double the amount of levels featured in vanilla Anomaly or any of its counterparts. Now, as of currently, as far as I could tell from my experience trying out the mod, you unfortunately can't visit all of these new areas in one playthrough, as what Anthology is designed to be is actually just a conglomeration of several large story mods put into Anomaly's engine, and they're each meant to be played separately, which is admittedly quite a bit of a shame. I was kind of hoping I'd be able to explore the whole zone, but at the same time I understand why that's just not possible. This does, however, bring up the fact that yes, Anthology adds in not only new maps to Anomaly, but also new scripted quests to go with the new stories. When I mentioned earlier how I've always had this sort of love-hate relationship with Anomaly, that has to be one of the biggest reasons why. Not only are the original maps a bit stale, but the near complete lack of any scripted quests aside from the main one makes the game feel incredibly bland and lacking in terms of actual content. Oftentimes I find that Anomaly and its variants just feel empty without a real goal other than surviving and grinding to get better gear, just so you can fight and take damage so you can grind more to get more gear. Now, for some people, I understand that's enough to make for a really cool game, but for me, I've always liked a little bit more context and world building, and with Anthology's quest lines, though they may be separate from one another, I still think the potential here is massive. Let me elaborate. So when I first found out about the Anthology mod, I was most excited for the new maps, but when I found out they couldn't all be visited in the same playthrough, I was actually really disappointed. But then I realized the Anthology team has done what was previously thought to be impossible, adding new maps to Anomaly's engine. So if they could do that, surely it was only a matter of time until we saw some map add-ons appear over at ModDB, right? Maybe a few months or up to a year. That's what I was thinking. Until about a week ago, I checked out one of the newest trending add-ons over on the Stalker subreddit. Allow me to introduce you to New Levels, an add-on that does exactly what it sounds like. Initially, it only added one area to explore, but now, in a very short amount of time, a brand new one was added to the mod, and according to a comment left by the developer, there might be more coming from him in the future. I'm absolutely amazed by the fact that someone has finally added some new levels, and let me just say from playing around with them for a bit, they are impressive. The new Grimwood map is a massively heavily wooded but still open forest area. In fact, it's what the Red Forest level from Clear Sky should have been. I've never been a fan of that one, but this level is the Red Forest done right. It almost reminds me of Chernobylite, which is this game I had reviewed on the channel a while ago and I personally loved, so it gets major points from me there. Then there's Prom Zone, the other level, which I would basically describe as Jupiter from Call of Pripyat if it had been made to match the darker, flatter tone of Shadow of Chernobyl. What you get here is a giant network of train tracks that stretch throughout the level, as well as a large warehouse area and a massive SETI-like radar dish, and wow, this map too just blew me away. In the end, the release of both of these mods has me really hyped for the future of Stalker Anomaly, not only as a mod, but as a platform. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I've always had a love-hate relationship with it, mainly due to the fact that there aren't many scripted quests, and the old vanilla levels, and commonly used COC ones, feel stale at this point. But wow, does this new add-on, combined with Anthology, give me hope for what Anomaly could become. I'm super excited to see what will come of this, and I'll be for sure checking back every so often just to see. I'll put a link to the new levels mod in the description, and then the link to Anthology can be found on the Stalker Anomaly Discord, which I'll also put a link if I can. Thank you so much for watching. I am Broken Circle, and that's going to be it for me today. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed. Have a great day, and stay safe. Goodbye, guys.